بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. Your Excellency, Mr. Osama Ahmed Sunusi, the Ambassador of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Canada. Your Excellency, Dr. Faisal Abdul Khair, the Saudi Cultural Attaché at the Saudi Arabian Cultural Bureau in Canada. Distinguished guests, my brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I'm really delighted and honored to address you all this afternoon. Thank you for inviting me. I'm going to talk this afternoon about the new generations and what may they do mean to us. If we are going to heal people and conquer diseases, we need to know much more about the makeup of our human body. We need to know this information before we can give drugs and other medication, because our health, our happiness, and our children depend on it. Today, the scientists and medical profession, they use blood tests to know about our bodies and also to find about diseases. It's really a window through which scientists can study us. But the current methods are not specific. They are too general. While the traditional medical methods have just reached their own limits. And contrary to what you may have learned, few new drugs and antibodies have been discovered, and solutions to complex diseases such as cancer, Alzheimer's, and dementia are making very slow progress, with nothing tangible on the horizon. Life expectancy is increasing with these complex diseases, but sadly, the reality is there is no cure. So my question, what is the wall holding medicine back? Well, not long ago, this type of problems and limitations became known to physicists, engineers, and also to chemists. But only the former realized a leap in medical methods was possible. The amazing power in computers, in microchip, can help with a totally new design which can work in fluids such as blood. So, I have invented a chip, a special biochip. There is nothing like this out there. I hope to believe that. It's a new generation. With this invention, I can help scientists to understand the chemistry of life, DNA, protein, enzymes, and ultimately the secret of life, and provide a tool for doctors to detect disease such as cancer. This biochip, which I have here, uses several tens of thousands of sensors on something the size of rice. I have here about 250,000 sensors on this spot. It can measure blood quickly in minutes with many parallel tests that normally would take weeks for a technician in a conventional lab. Personally, I still find it amazing we can shrink an army of hard-worked scientists into a small biochip. Now let me describe to you a bit of this biochip. Actually, the basic element is a spot of aluminum on a glass. By itself, it does nothing. But when you combine it with laser, a pulse laser, nano laser, something very special happens. This effect is known to physicists as a thermoelastic effect, where lights reduce sound. And here how it works. We generate sound wave from light, and from this diagram, I don't have a pointer, but if you look at the laser, if we flash a laser to the aluminum, to the disc, it's going to expand the aluminum from the heat of the laser and going to contract again. And this movement creates the vibration. And this is our detection method, the change in vibration of the disc. And here is an example. A laser pulse to the aluminum, expand, and boom, contract. It is about a nanosecond. It's so fast and so small. Now we are in a stage where we are doing preliminary prototype work for its first application, which is the early detection of breast cancer. Acoustic waves are very well known for its sensitivity. And when you make it even smaller than the size of the molecule, it can be extremely sensitive. So they can detect single molecules like breast cancer molecules. I see this technology as a way of getting a cancer test to women as early as possible so we can save millions of lives. Right at the point of care, where doctors can use it in a local surgery. And because of its low cost, it can reach women everywhere. How this works as a sensor for breast cancer, let us look at this animation. If there is no molecule of cancer present in the blood, the sound is very loud and the vibration very high. In contrast, when we have the cancer molecules in the blood, the sound is muted and the vibration is low. Very high, then it's very low. So the difference in vibration relates to the molecule in the blood. This is the invention. And this is the first chip in the world that can make direct physical measurement of the chemistry. So now imagine the extraordinary help this type of sensor can provide to the medical. It can act as an arm of sensor to see the complexity of cancer in seconds rather than weeks to prevent or fully heal cancer. Or it can identify our unique biological fingerprint that we all carry around with us. So when we design drug with less side effect. I can best summarize the benefit here, but the key is the extraordinary performance with high sensitivity. So my prediction is this. The computer chip revolution of the last decade is going to be followed by the biochip revolution. It will finally lead to break cancer for good. Biochip is going to change our world. And because of lower cost, it's going to secure that. And that's what's going to lead me to talk about the second type of the new generation. This picture is a typical picture of a lab in a developing world. And this is show the current problem. Millions of people are dying around the world because they cannot provide or they can't access tools to monitor their health. And people in the developed world have been sending lab equipment to developing countries to monitor their health. But you could see the condition of this lab equipment is old and bulky and the condition is not safe. So this approach, it doesn't work, and it never will. But the power of diagnostic for all can change that. It can put the entire power of any lab at the patient's fingertip. And here's a picture of it. So what is the technology? The technology is made of paper, so it's a very low cost, as low as a penny per device. It's portable, it's easy to carry, to use, and fold in your pocket. And above all, it's safely disposable. You can just light it with the match and incinerate it. What makes it unique is because we can do all above and we're still maintaining the high quality standard of diagnostic. And also our technology is very tiny. It only requires a few drops of any biological fluid going to travel a few millimeters to give the result in less than a minute. And here how it works. A drop of blood, or for example here we're using urine, it will wax up the channel, which is going to react with the chemical reagent base in the wells. And the color change depends on what we have here. And here we are testing for glucose and protein. This is just one type of what we can do, and there are several different types we can make for different applications. But our first application is liver function test. There are a huge number of patients who are under medication, HIV, AIDS, or TB. They suffer from liver damage because of the strong effect of the medication. How do we deal with this problem? For example, in a developed world, we have frequent blood tests. A patient comes to the hospital, So doctor can keep an eye on the patient. So if there is any danger on his liver, it can switch medication or stop medication. Whereas in the developing world, this doesn't exist. And if the patient is lucky enough to be near a central lab, for example here, our hospital, it takes weeks for results to come back. And by then it's too late for the doctor to track the patient because they come from sometimes 2 weeks to travel to go to the clinic. And also too late for the liver to recover. And also the patient, he'll take his own action because the drug is so painful, so he stops taking the medication. Lead in more mortality. This diagram showed only 5% of people being monitored, they will die per year. And it's about, let's say, 80 to 100 people will die in the United States. Whereas if you compare in the developing world of 25%, if we translated that to a number, it's about 700,000 will eventually die. This is only from HIV. If we add TB and hepatitis, the number will jump to 3 to 4 million per year, die eventually. Not because of the medication, from the disease, it's from the medication supposed to save their lives. Diagnostic for all can help by early detection or monitor at early stages because it's inexpensive and it's easy to carry and monitor. And here's a new design. How we can save their lives is through this diagram. It's a drop of blood, squeeze it gently on the paper, then turn it over and give you the color change. And the color change indicates that we have as a color table. So the medical representative can tell she or he if the patient has a liver failure. The beauty about this one is the patient or doctors can visit between 100 to 200 houses per day. They can take the measurements, they can find the results, then and there and take an action. And also telemedicine is the complementary technology is going to be added to our device. We published a paper about 3 years ago. What's happening if a doctor wants a number? It's more precise number. He can take a picture of a mobile phone and then he can send it to any central lab and then or here and then we give him the result back in a minute. Now, I wanted to share with you the important part of these new generations of technology. But this time, I do mean the youth of today. Before I do that, I would like to share with you a bit of my story and my passion. I was born in Mecca al-Mukarramah and I came from a family of 8 children with traditional upbringing and enormous love for knowledge. Since childhood, I really admire a character who did something for humanity in the area of medicine, literature, or science, like Messina, Al-Haytham, Marie Curie. I really wanted to be one day like them, to make a difference in this world. I left home in my teen, not a word of English, to Britain, to follow my dream to become a scientist. It wasn't easy, it was too hard. When I arrived in England, I had a dream that everything would be rosy and all the doors would be open for me. But it wasn't the case. My Saudi school qualifications were not sufficient for UK universities. So they asked me to go back home to my country. They told me that I had to do the A-levels again. I don't know if you know the A-levels is a horrible exam. And even if I did, my English would prevent me from being able to understand them all in 1 year. They indicated they know the fate of my life and they want me to believe them. It was tough for me because I was not ready to go back yet. I just arrived and I wanted to follow my dream. So I thought that I had a brain just like they did. So if they can, then I can. That was the first year was really, really hard and this was full of pain, joy and tears, and I never felt I want something badly in my life more than to pass my A-levels. I managed to pass with flying colors and I had unconditional offer from all the universities rejected me in the past. That gave me another push to believe in myself, again, to be resistant, and not let people to belittle my dreams and hope. From there, I went to Queen's College when I graduated with honors in pharmacology. And then I was so lucky to get a full scholarship from Cambridge University to do my PhD in biotechnology. Cambridge is a very beautiful city and it's gorgeous, but sometimes the reality can be different. I found it harder because I received judgment from the first day I arrived. I was told many times that I'm going to be a failure for two reasons. First, because I'm a female in a male-dominated world, and second, because religion can prevent me from exploring and discovering. And that's completely opposite from the way I brought up in Saudi Arabia. Our Islamic culture, so many Quranic verses and prophetic teaching encourage us to study, to analyze, to observe, to question. And also they told me I have only 3 months. Either I change or give up. Well, I managed to prove them wrong and I graduated. And I was also recognized scientifically and internationally by famous labs in the world, like NASA, Berkeley University at that time, Sندي lab, Tokyo University in Japan, Weizmann Institute in Tel Aviv, Euromedica in Switzerland, and Department of Health in UK when I did the Prime project with Oxford University. I was called by my king, Abdullah, as a mawhuba, the talented or gifted. I was invited to Prince Philip to receive a membership of Royal College of Teachers for my teaching in medical school. I was invited twice at House of Commons to present my work, and there I became a member of British Top Bank Researchers. And also after my PhD, I established my company with the invention I talked to you about. And I received last year from Prince Khalid the Mecca Award for Science and Technology. After Cambridge, I moved to Harvard almost 4 years ago. When I did, established the diagnostic for all with my professor, George Weissstein and Carmichael Robert. And then with this invention, we won both competition, a Harvard Social Enterprise and 100K MIT. It was the first time one group can win the same year competition. You can see there on top witness history it was. And I was so lucky this year to receive National Geographic Imaging Explorer. It is really an honor. But for many years, my story and my passion has been to improve the quality of science and to engage the heart and the mind of the youth and to move with this expanding economy of the Middle East is #1 priority to me. This is backed by PopTech, which I'm lucky to be part of both Social Enterprise in 2000, Social Fellows in 2009, and also Science Fellow in 2010. PopTech was a turning point in my life. There I learned so much about to believe in my leadership skills as a scientist and also as an entrepreneur. And I know how much this is vital for the new generation, especially in the Middle East. Thousands of talented Arab students graduate each year. As a scientist and social entrepreneur, I regularly meet hundreds of amazing people from the Middle East with great ideas. But no means are available to them to help them to make it happen. So personally, I see what these young people need the most is hope.